many people have saw the film and didn't really raise any eyebrows. They saw Star Wars and everybody know it was an open cast for Star Wars, which means they did a dual cast from the movie Carrie and the movie Star Wars with George Lucas. So John Travolta was almost Harrison Ford's character. Harrison Ford was almost playing the character in Carrie. So you were going in for two movies. Either they select you for one or you get selected in another. So Carrie Fisher, you know, basically was auditioning for both roles. She was either going to be one of the lead characters, or not the main character, but the villain in the movie, or she was going to be casted as, you know, Princess Leia in this film Star Wars that she deemed no one was going to see. Like, a lot of them wanted the Carrie movie more than the Star Wars movie. So it wasn't like George Lucas had his pick of the litter and said this was it. Actually, George Lucas was the worst of the batch. You know, like, he had to take which ones they didn't select for the movie role. So John Travolta was selected for Carrie because Carrie was considered the bigger picture, but they didn't have the person that they wanted in place. Jamie Lee Curtis had just blown up and came out of nowhere as an unknown in the movie Halloween, but when they were doing Star Wars, she had auditioned and they were looking at her slides and saying this could be Princess Leia. They didn't think that they could afford her, and she was getting ready to be the star in this movie Halloween that no one knew. So, of course, you know, she basically ended up turning down Princess Leia because she had landed the Halloween role, but she was almost Princess Leia. That's who George Lucas was looking at to be Princess Leia, was Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, but fate had it. You know, the movie role went to the person it should have from the very beginning. Now, if you look at everything in totality and how it plays out, you start saying to yourself, "Oh, damn, I didn't even know they did that." But yeah, they used to do dual auditions, and whoever was left over, that was the cast for his movie. So it wasn't like George Lucas had a pick or a choice or a selection in the process. This is like what it is, and it was like, this is it, man. This is what you're left with, and that's your cast. So it's not like he had a choice when he got Mark Hamill. He got the guy, Mark Hamill, and the guy that played the greatest American hero. That was going to be Luke Skywalker. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. He was going to be Luke. But they selected him for Carrie. So it was like, okay, well, we'll take this Mark Hamill guy. He's our Luke Skywalker. And they made it work. So, yeah, so it's not like George Lucas had a selection in the process to say, all right, this is my guy. He never really did that. This gumbo pot that was put together just so happened to work. Well, they hired the actor to play Darth Vader, and James Earl Jones didn't fit the description, but his voice is what they wanted. They tried it with the Star Wars actor's voice, and it just wasn't menacing enough. And when you see James Earl Jones, and they remembered him from what he did on some movie he did, and his voice was just so powerful. They were like, we need that voice. So right away, there it was. Yeah, it was written in the stars. It was destined to be what it is today. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be enamored. I wouldn't be shocked. None of that would surprise me in that instance, you know? Like, I wouldn't get any type of shock or surprise if they found out what it was. Now, the second film is where, you know, after the success of Star Wars, George Lucas had a little more say, and he hired Billy D. Williams to play Han Solo. Well, that's because in the same film that he saw, when he did American Graffiti, he saw Billy D. Williams and not Lady Sings the Blues, but the Billy Bongo's Traveling All-Stars with James Earl Jones. Both of those guys performed in that movie. So watching those two together, and you hear the two voices, he knew right away what he had. He knew he had something that's going to work. It's going to pop. And sure enough, it popped. It didn't blow, it popped. You know, all the ladies love Billy D. Williams. So now you got the black women going to see the movie too. So yeah, it was up. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis was almost Princess Leia. That is a complete fact. But the right role went to the right people, and we had classic movies. They didn't have a Carrie, though, with a Stephen King movie, Carrie. So Sissy Spacek was actually the wife of the producer. And he said, my wife could play this role. She could be Carrie. They were like, we're not going to cast your wife. So he brought his wife in. And there she was. And she played it to perfection. They weren't lying. They fries are good. Yep, so that is that. I'm going to get out of here, Screen Pink fans. Thanks for the support. Much love. I'm going to eat my food, and I'm going to hit y'all up with something real.